What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the study session. I'm your tour guide this evening. And if you read the description, you will see that we are finally doing reading comprehension. So get ready for reading comprehension. If you don't want to do reading comprehension, you're just gonna have to come back, because that's what we're doing today. So I don't like it. Nobody some people like it, but we gotta do it. We have to eat our vegetables, and unfortunately our vegetables are reading comprehension passages. So we're gonna do it. And turn on the music. 2K subs. Oh yeah. Is that right? All right. We're at 2K. Thanks, everybody. Oh yeah, it's a good point, Shiny. Now that the stream is on, we can get the slow mode going. So I actually see what you guys are saying. Yeah, super appreciate it though. Everybody who subscribed. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and do that. Drop a like on the video. You know we love it. But we are doing reading comprehension today. We're doing it. I promised. So a lot of people in the chat are talking about when the test is going to be. It looks like it's going to be next week. It looks like it's going to be next week. A lot of people are saying they got tickets for Wednesday. So our last stream will be on Tuesday, I guess. Exactly a week from today. So Singh says the tickets are not released, so maybe you just haven't gotten yours yet. I would follow up with whoever you should talk to, whether it's like a guidance counselor. I don't even know. Good luck, everyone. So yeah, guys, we are going to go into reading comp. So hopefully you are on the biggest screen that you have available to you, whether that's a phone, tablet, or a laptop, desktop computer processing unit, whatever it may be. Grab it, because this is what the text is going to look like. Look at this. Okay. That is as big as I can make it, because these passages are pretty long. They're pretty long. That is the other that's the other half of the passage. And so I've gotten it to fit. But if that is too small for you, there's not much I can do, frankly. There's not much I can do. It's about as big as I can make it fit on a screen. That is also why I'm hesitant to do reading comp, because I know, not everybody has perfect connection. We all know Time Warner is a great internet company. I mean, even if I did have the choice to not have Spectrum, I would choose Spectrum, because they are quality and reliable, and they never deliver less than what they promise. That's what I love the most about Spectrum, is they deliver exactly what you ask for. So if you have another internet provider, or you have shaky internet, it might be tough to read. Can I send a PDF of the text in the chat? Don't use Spectrum. I'm kidding. They're bad. I know, I was being ironic. All right, I'll post a link. I'll post a link to where you guys can find it. So if you are, that went really poorly. So that if you are needing to get it on a different screen, you can. So here's the link. I'm not phishing you, that's it. So go ahead and click that link and scroll down to page 60. Scroll down to page 60. All right, I'll give you guys a second to do that. I'll give you guys a second to do that. So if you're dual wielding devices, you can do it. I'll catch up with the chat real quick while I'm waiting for you guys to get that. Hamza, I see you, bro. 60 on PDF or on the doc. It's on the actual page. We'll say 60. I don't know what it is in the actual PDF, what page it is. But if you look at the bottom of like this, every page, you'll see a number. Like the page above it is 59, right here. I think it's page 278 in the PDF, but I don't want to like, yeah, there you go. Thank you, Techno. Yeah. Okay, so you guys have the link. You guys have the tools. We are going to go into this passage, okay? Notice how long these passages are. That's on purpose. They're making them long to make them as painful as possible for you. And so just don't be discouraged by that. Be encouraged to continue to focus. Okay, so we are going to begin. We are going to start. Here is the second half of the passage. I'm going to read this, and I will let you know, kind of generally. I'm going to read it at like a normal speed, so hopefully that'll match up with you guys. But when you're done reading it in the chat, I would appreciate if you say done or just tell me that you're done reading. If you see a bunch of people saying done and you're not done, that's fine. Keep reading. I'm not going to switch it up. So no more procrastinating. No more procrastinating. Let's actually get into this. I'm going to be quiet for like however long this takes to read, but let's go. Okay, so hopefully you guys had enough time to read this incredibly interesting passage. I I mean, I learned so much. I mean, even though this is in a digital format, I was like, wow. So let's kick into the questions and let's see what they're going to be asking us. The details in paragraph 1 convey a central idea of the passage by noting, let's go. Okay, we're getting some answers in. I'm seeing mostly B on this one. I did see 1A, B or D from Vegetal. All right, so let's talk about some of these answers. Let's look at A. Fewer people are buying ebooks than printed books. Well, you have to ask yourself, what is the central idea of the passage? Is this because, we are trying to convey what that central idea of the passage is. Now, in the first paragraph, it does say ebook sales are falling. They've been falling since 2015. But is that the central idea of the passage? I don't think so, because they talk about how ebooks and normal books compare, but they don't really talk about the purchase of them. They don't really talk about people buying them. So A isn't a very strong answer. D, some people recommend buying printed books over ebooks. Well, that's true, but again, is that our central idea of the passage? Is that some people recommend buying printed books? I don't know. That the some people kind of ruin that, because do they have, I guess the researchers considered some people. It's a little loose. B, printed books have some advantages over ebooks. That looks really good, because I don't know if you could tell from this passage, but this author Shaughnessy Farrow, this Shaughnessy really likes regular books. And so in the first paragraph, they kind of suggest that, and I think that's the road and the central idea. So I would say that that would be the answer for the first one. All right, next question. 26, which evidence from the passage best supports the claim that print definitely isn't dead? Paragraph 1. What's the answer? A lot of people jumping on E on this one. Almost everybody. Bandwagon's really strong. So let's look at it. Most college students prefer using paper books to using ebooks. Yeah, that would definitely show that print isn't dead. Where is that? I think it's right here. College students don't prefer them. So yeah, that's a pretty good find. That's pretty good if you remember that. So yeah, that is the answer. Let's look at the other ones just in case. Scientists are still studying the effects of reading on a screen. That's true, but I don't know if that means print definitely isn't dead. Paper books are less disruptive to sleep patterns than ebooks are. But they do say if you don't have a backlight that it's not that bad. Reading on a screen can affect both the eyes and the brain. Yeah, but they kind of talk at the end of how people who grew up reading ebooks are actually ages 8 to 16 found that more than 50% prefer screen reading. So I don't really know if H is the best one for that. 27, the studies described in paragraph 6 are important to the author's observations in paragraph 7 and 8 because here is 6, 7, and 8. What's the answer, guys? Seems like a lot of people are going with B on this one. Yeah, it looks like everybody's going to B on this one. What does it say? What are his observations in paragraph 7 and 8 really quick? 7, you might want to go for a physical book or turn off the backlight. It may not mean that it's really going to melt your brain, because a computer is different than reading a Kindle, and an interactive one is different than a Kindle. Okay, this is a weird question. So what is the studies? There's 2 of them. Reading digitally required a higher cognitive workload, and people sleep worse. So I guess B is pretty good. It gives the author the opportunity to reach practical conclusions. So as far as the practical conclusion from the sleeping worse, he says turn off the backlight. And the practical conclusion from requiring higher cognitive workload could be reading it on a different thing other than an ebook reader, or reading it not on a computer. He doesn't really clarify. But yeah, B is a pretty good answer. I'm going to go with that as well. I think that's pretty good. 28, what's the answer? What is the best summary of the research into the effects of ebook reading? Let's go. The whole chat's on G, so let's see what the other answers are. And we're looking for the effects of ebook reading from these researchers. Ebooks are disliked by college students and preferred by kids, and their interactive features are distracting. I don't know if that's the summary of the research, but it is pretty decent. Some ebooks can aid comprehension, but most ebook readers remember few details. That isn't totally correct, because there was that study with the chronology that showed that chronology was affected, but not truly comprehension. Enhanced ebook engage children, but offer too many opportunities to be distracted by non-reading. That's like one study, not all of the research, right? And G, ebooks reduce reading comprehension and increase distraction, and they are tiring for the eyes and the brain. Yeah. That's pretty good. That includes the reading comprehension, the distractions with the enhanced ebooks. That includes the brain function and the sleeping. So that actually is pretty good. That actually is a pretty good answer. I would say slightly better than E, in fact, just because he's a little bit too simplistic. It really is too simplistic. It's missing the difference. In my perspective, it's missing some of the more interesting surveys or researches that have been done. Let's keep cruising. 29. Oh, this looks great. Which sentence from the passage suggests that people in the future will likely choose ebooks over print books? What's the answer? A lot of people put in D. Okay, that's looking like a lot of people put in D. However, a 2012 study from the UK Nationals Literacy Trust of Ages. Yeah, that's exactly it. That is the part of the passage right here that really talks about what could potentially happen in the future, which is pretty much that everybody's going to be reading on screens. Okay, cool. Let's keep cruising. Oh man, Two more questions. Number 30, what is, I'm gonna try to do that. Oh man, go well. Number 30, what is the answer? Let's go. Okay, getting a lot of different answers for this one. This question is kind of, I think, very nuanced in a way that I don't necessarily agree with, but whatever. So our expectations of ebook reading might affect how we approach the test. So that's in paragraph 9. Let's see exactly where it says that. Oh my gosh. Where's the beginning of this? Our expectations, bro. It's possible that our expectations of ebook reading, as well as the different designs of digital reading experience on a computer, iPad, or Kindle, might affect how we approach the test and how much effort we put into studying them. So let me get rid of the non-essential modifier there. It's possible that our expectations of ebook reading might affect how we approach the text and how much effort we put into studying them, just because of that effort part. So let's look at let's start with the bottom right. One study found that people who read ebooks had poor recall of chronological events. That doesn't really affect our effort. That's just a unfortunate side effect. Like, I guess we could, if we knew that that was true, we could write down a chronology. G, adult readers recall more details from a story read in a print book than an ebook. That doesn't really speak to how our expectations of ebook reading might change how we affect it. So looking at E and F, because these two answers I think are the closest, we are talking about if you knew one thing, how would that help you in your approach with ebooks? F says, a study found that ebooks enhanced with multimedia engaged children to interact physically. That doesn't really give us much information on how we should approach an ebook. That just says that if it's interactive, children will interact with it. That doesn't necessarily give us a strategy. But E says studies that found that students use their study time less productively with ebooks than with print books, that could potentially affect the way that we approach it. Because if we know that it is characteristic that people are less productive with ebooks, then you might need to really double down in your focus in order to be productive. With an ebook, I did not like that question, but the answer I would say would be E. I would say E, Markiplier. 31. Last question. Which sentence from the passage best reveals the author's point of view about ebooks? Let's get into it. This person has the exact opposite problem of John Fletcher. But let's look into it. Here are 5 ways ebooks might be inferior to their dead tree cousins. Yeah, that is definitely it. This passage I thought was just an absolute peach. Like the way that it was written, I was like, who wrote this? Who wrote this? Because they state a fact and then they completely contradicted the next thing. So, for example, they discovered that kids sometimes skip text in favor of interactive features. Certain multimedia can be detrimental, so that's bad, right? However, researchers noted that some features are designed to enhance comprehension, and those might be more helpful. Oh, okay. So interactive features are bad, except if they're designed to enhance comprehension. Those guys who wrote the earlier books with interactive features didn't plan on enhancing comprehension. They wrote this book with interactive features and they're like, I'm going to throw this distracting thing in there. It's really going to ruin their comprehension. Whatever. All right, I cannot get too salty again. I've already ragged John Fletcher. I'm not going to rag Chauncey, even though, bro, look at your name. All right, let's go. Let's move on to a different one. Oh, there he is. There he is. Let's keep cruising, though. We can't get bogged down. All right, you might have seen this passage before. This passage is kind of tricky. It's kind of difficult, which is why we should go into it and why we should do it. So here it is, guys. We have an author with 3 names, so we know he is ancient. And I'm going to give you some time to read this, okay? And just type done in the chat when you're done. Ready? Let's go. Okay, so a lot of people are saying done. We're gonna just start walking into this one, talking about it, just because it is a little bit of a doozy, I think, at least the way that it's written. Like, you have to remember, before the internet, people would sit, like if you had like a train ride, or like you were just like, it just turned nighttime, you would sit with a book and you would slowly read it all night, or you'd sit with a story. So they can't just tell you what's going on, they can't just tell you what's happening. They have to be flowery and kind of cutesy with the way they write it. And because of that, it can be a little bit hard to understand. But it's important that you don't speed through this, that you take your time understanding what is being said. Because if you skim or if you skip along because you don't get something, you're going to get BTFO. And we're about to see that happen. Tanjim Sai says, any tip for reading fast with understanding it? You got to find the balance, bro. There's nothing I can tell you that will make you read faster. You got to find which speed you can read at that you can still get your comprehension. That's the truth. Tyler, my thumbnail. Well, do your the date on your thumbnail's wrong. You have to send me a new version, and then I'll throw it up there, bro. And Shiny, didn't you send me a thumbnail? I did not see it. Just send it to my TTE account. So hopefully everybody is done reading. Let's kick into these questions. Oh my gosh, what a goofy chick Margaret is. Oh my gosh, can you believe it, guys? In paragraph 2, how does the phrase "when all three had taken the trouble to tell her" affect the tone in the first part of the excerpt? What's the answer, bros? Okay, so I'm seeing a lot of C's. I'm seeing some A's in there too. This question is, the answer choices, in my perspective, are incorrect for what the question's asking. Because what the question is really asking here is, how does the phrase "when all three has taken the trouble to tell her" affect Margaret's perception? Because it's about what she thinks. It's not about what we know to be true. It's about what she thinks. And it is establishing the tone of the character. So that's why I think the question is poorly worded. But that is what the question is really asking, is what does this tell us about the character's opinions, and how does that affect the tone of the character as it gets developed in the passage? That's what it's really asking. So kind of lame, if you ask me. Knowing what it's asking, let's see. A, it creates an accusatory tone by suggesting that Margaret believes that others are responsible for her problem. This, I think, is a great answer for just the question as it's written. But it isn't necessarily accusatory, is it? She says she found it was strange that neither the conductor, brakeman, or porter had come. So not necessarily accusatory, but she's definitely a little salty about it, because she's used to being taken care of, or at least that's how the vibe is. B, it introduces a defiant tone. No, that's definitely not the answer. It suggests a frustrated tone, by showing that Margaret feels confused by the inconsistent help offered by the railroad employees. At this point of the passage, she doesn't know she's not on a platform. At this point in the passage, she thinks that everybody's getting off, or at least the people who should be getting off are getting off, and she's wondering where her help is. So we have to remember that at this stage in the passage, she doesn't know she's wrong. And so it does, in her opinion, look like it's inconsistent because as far as she knows, she's at the station. That's the logic of this question. I thought it was pretty unfair, frankly, but I'm not going to rag on it all day. 42. Which sentence from the excerpt best supports the idea that Margaret is unaccustomed to traveling to new places by train? Let's go. I'm seeing some G's. Seeing some heavy G, 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 G. E or G in Archaea. G, 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 E. I'm seeing an E there. All right, so most people leaning G on this one. A couple of people leaning E. So let's post up and check it out. With a lurch, the train came to a dead stop, and Margaret Earl, hastily gathering up her belongings, hurried down the aisle and got out into the night. I don't know if that shows that she's unaccustomed to traveling to new places. That seems to me like pretty average behavior for someone who thinks that their stop is the next stop. The train stops, you may be a little hasty, but you grab your stuff and you get out of there, right? So that seems like she's actually a little bit more used to it than is what is real. G, did they not have platforms in the wild western land, or was the train so long that her car had stopped before reaching it? Yeah, that's her really questioning what is going on, what the proper procedure is. So I'm going to say the answer for 42 is G. 43, she strained her eyes into the darkness and tried to make out things from the 2 or 3 specks of light that danced about like fireflies in the distance. What's the answer, guys? That's a good part. That's a good point, Irfan. Yeah, it's true by Anarchia. That's because you ride it all the time. It's if you're going to a new place, you might get surprised by the stop. Beep beep beep. I'm seeing B's. I'm seeing a D pop up here. Seeing a little B and D action here. Seeing a C here. Ooh. Seeing B, D's, and C's. Oh, we got our first A. Ooh, this might be a hard question. Let's pop into this, shall we? So, like, by the way, this is exactly what I'm talking about. The lights danced about like fireflies. Who talks like that? 0 people. If you talk like that, I'd be like, bro, you're trying too hard. But let's go into it. The simile used in the sentence affects the tone of the paragraph. So that is exactly what we're talking about, actually, because similes are metaphors, but using like or as, right? So let's talk about D first. Feeling of dread as Margaret regards the desolation of the land that surrounds her. That is a trap answer. If you're not as familiar with reading comprehension, D is a trap answer, no meme. Because going into the last parts of the passage, we as an audience know that she's messed up. And at the very end of the passage, she does feel that desolation. She does feel being left behind. But at this point of the passage, when she is looking at 3 specks in the distance, they are like fireflies. That does not suggest that it's desolate. That suggests almost kind of like fun, Like, who doesn't like a firefly, right? If you don't know what a firefly is, it's like a bug that lights up and it flies around at night. A feeling of comfort as Margaret connects her unfamiliar surroundings with familiar images. That's pretty good. That's a pretty good answer. But let's check out B. Sense of lonesomeness as Margaret realizes that she is on her own in the wilderness. Okay. When is this in the passage? Where is this? Paragraph 4. A sense of lonesomeness? I don't know, man. Guys, is that really a sense of lonesomeness? A sudden feeling of isolation. Where does it say that? Okay, there it is. A sudden feeling of isolation took possession of her. I don't know. I remember doing this passage, and I think the answer is, like, in the actual answer key is B. But I don't like that answer at all, because she doesn't feel a sense of isolation from the fireflies in the distance. She starts to feel it when the train is tremendously long, and after she sees dimly lit figures. It's like 2 sentences away from the fireflies. So how does the simile in this sentence affect the tone of the paragraph? I don't know. When I see fireflies in the distance, I don't feel a sense of lonesomeness. I don't think she feels lonesome. I really don't. I really don't like this question, bros. Let's see what the chat's saying. Answer key says B. Okay, so I remembered it correctly, but I still don't like it. I really don't like it. Tyler Tutor, check the answer explanation. All right, I will check the answer explanation. I'm sure it's phenomenal. Let's see what the answer explanation has to say. Correct. The image of 2 or 3 fireflies creating small specks of light in the darkness creates a sense of isolation or loneliness in Margaret. What? I don't know. I guess if the fireflies and the figures with the lanterns and the train being very long all feed into her sudden sense of isolation, I guess. But how does it affect the tone of the paragraph? How does lanterns or lights looking like fireflies affect the tone? What, fireflies are supposed to make you feel lonesome? Like, I'm sorry, Pearsons, I disagree. Like, you can say because afterwards a sudden feeling of isolation affects her, but that's how it affects Margaret. That doesn't affect the tone of the passage, I don't think. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm kind of out of sorts on this one, but I don't know. Yeah, it makes you feel calm. Doesn't make me feel lonesome. If like I'm sitting in my crib and I have like a great view, and if I see some fireflies in the distance, I don't go, "Oh my gosh, I'm so lonely." I go, "Oh, that's kind of comforting," because my remembering of fireflies is like a kind of like a nostalgic kind of, when like easy summer days, and I don't feel lonesome. So Pearsons, come fight me, bro. The answer is A. I don't care what the answer key says. Come fight me, Pearsons. The answer is A. Moving on to the next question. 44. What is the answer? Let's go. So Dahl brings up a good point. We have no evidence she's comforted by that, but it's not about how Margaret feels. It's the tone of the paragraph. Let's go into the answers on this one. A lot of people saying E, some people saying G. So how do her early interactions with the conductor, brakeman, and porter affect the plot? Let's see what her interactions were like. The conductor, brakeman, and porter did not come and help her off the train. When all three of them had taken the trouble to tell her that hers was the next station. So it looks like they're pretty helpful, and they're basically like, hey, you know, your stop is the next stop. So that's what they did. The answer is E, because had they not told her that your stop was the next stop, when the train stopped, she may not have rushed to get off the train. So the answer there is E. Let's look at G. They compel Margaret to wonder whether the train has not pulled all the way into the station. That is her thinking about it much later. That's her thinking right here. They didn't make her think about the station. That was her own musing. So yeah, I would say the answer is E for this one. Let's keep cruising. 45. Let's do 45. A moment of useless screaming, running, trying to attract someone's attention, a sickening sense of terror and failure, and the last car slatted itself past with a mocking clatter as if it enjoyed her discomfort. The imagery in the sentence, I guess it's right here, conveys what? Let's go. Okay, a lot of people going with D on this one. I do see a couple B's kind of sprinkled into the chat, so we should probably talk about it. D says that the effort Margaret is making. So let's talk about how an author would write if they want to indicate that she is really making a huge effort. Because most of the language that I see in this sentence, we do have screaming, we do have running, trying to attract someone's attention. So those are pretty good. I would consider that effort. But then we talk about a sickening sense of terror, failure, and then we talk about the last car mocking her as if it enjoys her discomfort. Now, if this was a sentence highlighting the effort that she put in, it would talk about her running hard over the ground. It would talk about her having to dodge rocks and try to grab parts of the train and maybe, you know, taking off her scarf so she can run better. You know what I mean? All of those indicate effort. We get three kind of early indications of effort, but if you stop doing your research there on the question, you might go to B. This is actually a good question, so Pearson's good job. I don't want to fight you. D, vulnerability, that is kind of what I feel in this, because even though, yes, the very first part of the sentence is talking about effort, we then feel a sickening sense of terror, failure, right? The train mocks her, right? And really, you only really think a train mocks you if you're already feeling kind of down in the dumps, you know what I mean? As if it enjoyed her discomfort. So yeah, I would say that the answer for this one is D for 45. The answer is D. This is a good question, Pearson's. Good job. 46, let's cut into it. What's the answer, guys? Someone asked to explain C for 45. I can do that. Anger that Margaret is experiencing as she watches the train leave without her. I don't see anger here. I mean, yes, she's screaming, but she's feeling terror. That's like not really anger. It's more fear, failure, which is like disappointment, and then discomfort. I don't see anger there. But the word screaming is there, so don't get distracted by one word out of everything. All right, so what do you guys got for 46? What's up? What's the answer? Swagger, ask me that question afterwards about test nervousness. This is going to be our last passage. I got to dip early today, guys. A lot of people seeing E on this one. I'm seeing an F here or there into the chat. What do you guys think? That one guy asked me that question at the end, bro, when we were talking about stuff. But yeah, I got you. Which one is 9? That's this, I guess. Oh, good question. That's this one. This is paragraph 9, by the way. So I just highlighted it. It's like split between the 2 pages. Yeah, or what Christina said. Just look at the quote. Or I'm sorry, Farian said that. F for horse. So I'm seeing a lot of different answers for this one. So let's cut into it. How does Margaret's experience in paragraph 9 emphasize a theme of the excerpt? So her experience in paragraph 9, not a good one. She's not having a good experience, having a bad day. And this is the moment that her day pivots into really being bad. So how does it emphasize the theme of the excerpt? It confirms Margaret's understanding that she cannot rely on help from anyone else. So that actually is pretty true, because she can't rely on help from the conductor or those other 2 dudes. And now that the train is gone with all the people on it, she can't rely on help from anybody. Nobody is going to come to save her. So I do like that. F, it leads Margaret to realize that her desire to change her situation is impractical. I don't know. I don't know if she really ever thinks that her desire to change, because she still wants to change her situation. She still is like walking in the direction of the train, right? It causes Margaret to believe that her own actions led to an unfavorable outcome. I don't know. I don't know if she does, if she ever does, does do that self-reflection. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know if she blames herself. Yeah, that might be later on in the passage, but I don't know if she's blaming herself at this point. It reinforces Margaret's frustration about her lack of control over her surroundings. That is pretty good, except that that's not really a theme of the excerpt. The theme of the excerpt is that she's kind of that she kind of relies on people too much and doesn't actually pay attention. Like they said, oh, your stop's the next stop. So literally the next time the train stops, she gets off. Like she's not looking at the fact that it's just wide open wilderness, that, there's nobody else is getting off. She just does kind of what she's told. So I would say E is the correct answer for 46. Let's go to 47. Is this the last question? No, it's not. 47, let's go. Read paragraph 10 from the excerpt. I'll highlight it. So I'm not going to read that for you guys. You guys can read it on your own. That's paragraph 10. What is the answer? Yeah, tainted. That's a good analysis, bro. Yeah, Joey, I feel you on that one, but what is the theme of the excerpt? Is it that you can't change your situation? A lot of people going with D for the dinosaur on this one. Chloe is not a fan of the passage. I think they purposefully pick passages that are just like so lame. Like, but whatever. We're grinding. 47. A lot of people are saying D for 47. What does D say? The hopelessness that Margaret feels when she accepts that the train is continuing on. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. So let's talk about what figurative language is. Notice in this quote, swinging tauntingly, blinking now and then with a leer in its eye, right? He's like mean mugging Margaret. So that's kind of what they're saying with this, is that the train is like mogging her. And so it emphasizes that, yeah, she's alone and she's hopeless, right? It's not coming back. It's not going to get her. Interesting to note, though. Notice how this question up here, where is it? This question right here talks about the anger. So if you picked C for this one, you are very, very likely to pick B for this one if you're just skimming. So that's pretty good test design there, I must say. So the answer for this, I would say, is the hopelessness that she feels. 48. We are done. We are finally done with this passage. What does paragraph 11 contribute to the plot of the excerpt? And that's this guy right here, guys. Let's finish strong. What is it? Bruh. Right. Yeah, she should have subbed to Tyler Tutor. Now, what can you do? That says low, not lull. A lot of people are going E on this one. I do see an F in the chat. So let's talk about it. What does paragraph 11 contribute to the plot? She gasped and looked about her for the station that but a short moment before had been so real to her mind. And lo, on this side and on that, there was none. Oh my gosh. So what does that contribute to the plot? It reveals that the reality of the situation is different from her assumptions. Boom. Her assumptions were that this was a station, and at this very moment, it's not like she's nervous and got back on the train because she thought maybe something was wrong. She is confirmed. It's real. There is no station there. She is going to be out all night. But she's got her suitcase, so she's got clothes. You know, hopefully she has a little water bottle with her. You know, she'll be okay, guys. She'll be okay. And plus, it's just a fiction, so this is just a story. She doesn't exist, so she'll be okay. Margaret's going to be okay. The real question is, are we going to be okay? So how did you guys do on those passages? I know it's like, you know, I know it can be a little tough to do it. We literally just read how it can be distracting doing e-books and e-reading, and then we just did an e-reading passage. So keeping that in mind, how was that? How'd you guys do? Can we do math? We'll do math tomorrow, bruh. I did worse on the second one, but then you got to work on your stories, your fiction passages, Angela. Tyler, you leaving me early today? Yo, I mean, it's already been an hour, bro. I got one wrong on each. Is that good? Yes, but which type of questions did you get wrong? Because you need to try to eliminate that. If it's, you know, that's great to get one wrong, but, you know, keep pushing, dude. Keep pushing. Can we do math? We'll do it tomorrow. My mind needs more stimulation. Well, hey, man, we got hundreds of videos on the channel. Feel free to go watch them, leave a like on them. Oh yeah, by the way, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe to the channel, but you know, no pressure. You can always unsubscribe after the test. Drop a like too if you just like how tenacious Margaret is. Guys, isn't she the best? Can you give some tips on hard questions, especially if there are two really close answer choices? Yeah, bro. A lot of the time, there's going to be one word that ruins it if it's super close. Like, let's see if I can get an example here so I can show you exactly what I'm talking about. Great, so let's look at B for this one, number 47. Let's look at B. How does the figurative language in the sentence emphasize the anger Margaret feels towards people on the train who she expected to help her? Now, she did expect people on the train to help her. And it may be that once the train leaves, she really does not like those people anymore. But is it anger? Does she express anger? No. And so that's why B is wrong, just because of that word anger. And also because it doesn't really address the figurative language, right? So that's what I would say for this one. For example, embarrassment. Yeah, you might, if someone's taunting you, if someone's leering at you, that might feel embarrassing, right? If someone's just staring at you like you have something on your face. So yeah, that could be embarrassment, but it's not because she's imagining what others will think of her. It's because the train is making her feel embarrassed. So keep in mind that in a good test, there has to be something wrong with the answer choice. So just keep that in mind when you're doing it, bro. Tyler, since we're done, do you have advice for test nervousness? It messed me up the first time I took the test. You got to work on your head game and putting things in perspective. That is the best way to do it, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. If you go to a great specialized high school, or if you go to a normal high school, you're still going to be you. You know, some people go to specialized high schools and it breaks them because they get too stressed out and they get too competitive. So just because, you know, a specialized high school isn't like heaven. It's not like you're trying to get into heaven and everything is perfect and wonderful. So just keep perspective, bro. You know, try to remember that it just doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Just go in and do you. Oh my God, I'm on YouTube. Yes, yeah, you made it, bro. Can we do 9th grade math tomorrow? On the channel, we do hard math, bro. So if you're looking for specific 9th grade material, I would look at the end of the handbooks. Ooh, I'm at 201K. Are we gonna do another one? No, we're done. Yeah, I gotta dip, dude. I gotta eat dinner. I'm like dying here. Can you give some tips on hard questions? Oh yeah, we talked about that. Can we do poetry? If Sushi Addict, I'm a fan of sushi. If you go back to my previous streams last week, we did poetry. We actually did the poetry passages in this handbook. So if you're looking for poetry, it's in a previous stream. I don't remember which one. Tyler Tutor, can you give me some tips on, we talked about that one. Tyler, I got 216 on your math diag for 19 questions on your website. Is that good? It says it's good on your website, but is that good though? We'll double the score. So 2016 doubled will be 432. Is that a score that you want as far as like comparing it to cutoff scores? That's the real one. Fictional passages. Oh my gosh, why does it scroll like that, dude? I'm like, and it got rid of my highlight. Oh no, cool. What does it say? Fictional passages, Lord, please help me. Yeah, just go read some short stories. Look up short stories online and read them, dude. You need to practice. Yeah, ask your question now, bro. Now's the time. Once I catch up on chat, we're done. I got one wrong in the second and none of the first. Very nice. Can you give, how do I become Tyler? How do I become a Tyler Tutor? Just start a YouTube, dude. You'll probably have more subs than me someday. Does the one you don't like count as a wrong one? Yeah, you have to talk to Pearsons about that. A little off topic, but do you have any strats or tips on how to properly break down comp questions in the passage? If you're asking that, what I would recommend is to put a small blurb next to each paragraph, kind of like that first passage that we saw. The first passage we saw had like see these blurbs? These are alley-oops for you. But if they don't have blurbs, you can always put your own blurbs next to it. And that way, if you need to, you can easily locate which paragraph the piece of relevant information is. It's the same question. Can you get into style with 1 wrong math and 11 wrong ELA? Probably, yeah. How long should I take on each question? For math, you shouldn't take more than a minute. For reading comprehension, you shouldn't take more than 10 minutes. You got it, Swagger. What do you think the cutoffs for STY are going to be? I have no idea, dude. And if anybody pretends they do, they're lying to you. I mean, you can guess. It's probably close to last year's, but what it's going to be exactly, no one knows. What's the maximum you can get wrong on the whole test to get into one of the specialized high schools? That question depends on the breakdown of where the wrong answers are, either verbal or math. Look at my Hack the SHSAT video to see how that works. What's up, Con? Dinner is for the week. Weekend stream? Yeah, I am going to stream this weekend just because the test is coming up. Why does it jump? I'm honestly, whatever. John Fletcher, yeah, we love John Fletcher on this channel. You know, he's standing in his clothes made by a company, enjoying a coffee imported from abroad, staring at soap ads, seething. It's like, okay, well, if you don't like soap ads on mountains, then don't buy anything from anyone ever, because they all advertise, bro. But whatever. I'm not going back into Fletcher today. He's already been destroyed. I've already handed Fletcher his L. He's gonna have to live with it. What do you think the cutoffs? Yeah, I don't know. Is there a lot of improvements I can make in 1 week? Yeah. Get your mind right. We talked about nervousness. Start putting things in perspective. Because if you're too nervous to perform, then you're no good to anybody. So try to relax, try to breathe, put in perspective. You're gonna do how you're gonna do. So just go in there and do your best. And as long as you walk out saying like, yo, I tried my hardest and did my best, there's nothing to feel nervous about. Are all of your SHSAT speedruns have all correct? I believe so, yeah. Some tips for ELA section. Yeah, if you're bad at it, do it second. If you're good at it, do it first. And make sure you're actually reading, not skimming. Tyler was complaining and pissed on the guy who wrote the poem. Yeah, that's very true. I got really salty, I really did. Tyler, if you were to go to Mars, would you? Like if they offered it? Like if they said you can go to Mars but you can't come back? I don't know, I might, bros. I might, honestly. No, I mean, Tyler, I only got a 216 on the math part, only the 19 questions on math, so wouldn't I like quadruple it? Only the math, I didn't do ELA. No, you double it because I scaled it for 19 questions. It's a third of a test. So yeah, you do not quadruple it. It would just be a 216. But again, it's only 19 questions, so it's not like a full diagnostic. Oh my God. I understand, Swiftsy, I do. Did you go? No, I wasn't in New York. I need tutoring. Nah, dude, you just need to work hard. You don't need tutoring, trust me. Like I would honestly think a person who studied hard would score better than a person who had tutoring. Tutoring isn't like, there's no magic that goes on. Like, of course, when I tutor, there is a lot of magic, and that's why I'm so sought after. But most tutors, there's no magic. They just correct you when you're wrong and explain to you what the book already says. So I would just study hard. But not when I tutor. When I tutor, like I force the information into your brain. I'm gonna go do one of your practice tests. Totally, tylertutor.com. Angela, you got it. Gotta eat dinner too, bro. Sounds good. Okay, 42, 57, 51, 57, good. Yeah, but Moonshot, that's gotta be higher than 51. If you're really gonna be like that, you gotta try for like a 55, 56. So figure out where those mistakes are coming from, bro. Do you actually? We were joking about me doing a prank channel. Yeah, so after the test is over, I'm gonna be doing pranks in the hood, and I'm gonna be doing Ace Family pranks. So definitely be checking out that new hot content. What do you sound like, Dream? Yeah, I don't know. We're definitely two different people. We're definitely separate. Tyler, are you working on the speech? Your dog is in it? Dude, I don't know. You know, I'm actually just going to go shoot from the hip from the speech because who knows what the moment will require. Love you, bro. Got to eat dinner too. Love you too, Kumar. Hope everybody's good luck on their test. What positive vibes. Thanks, Kumar. Appreciate that, bro. I'm pretty much ready. Good luck to me. Yeah. Good luck, Justin. You're going to be great, bro. Tips for math. Can you write the formulas I should know for the test, please? Mark, go to my website, tylertutor.com. All right, I'll write it out. I'll write it out so you guys can see it. There's so much useful information in this that I guess I can just do the bottom of this page here. So guys, this is the website that I have. I haven't updated it in like a year, but the information was ahead of its time. So you're still good to go. That's the website. There's a lot of resources. If you go to the math section of it, it will tell you everything you need to know equation-wise. I'm John Letcher. I like trees. Yeah, exactly. But aren't you a writer, John Letcher? Which means that you write books, which means that you murder beautiful, epic trees just so people can read what you wrote. Don't you know you're cutting down trees to write these books, John Fletcher? What a cringe lord, dude. John Fletcher is a cringe lord. All right, watch me read this. Watch me read this, Shifty. Tyler, please read this. No, Tyler, you didn't understand. And I mean, Tyler, I only got a 216 on the math part, only the 19 questions on math, so when you quadruple it, no, because I scaled it. I took it out of, like 19 out of 19 is 100%, and you get a perfect score, right? 0 out of 19 is a 0%, and you would have got a 0, right? So I scaled it. So whatever your score out of 19 is, that would be what your score is out of 57. Again, it's a short test, so it's not like it's the real thing. I highly recommend you take a practice test if you're very interested what your score would be. If I make it into BTH, I'll donate $100. Thanks, Justin. Appreciate that, bro. Yeah, I'll probably do a stream when the results come out. Tyler, sometimes get intimidated by hard math questions like I did last year on the test. What should I do about that? Is realize that the answer is there. And realize that there is no such thing as an unfair question. Go to my website, look at all the math topics, make sure you're familiar, maybe look at an SAT a little bit harder for 9th grade, but just know that there's no such thing as an unfair question and that there is a way to break it. There is a way to crack it. So don't get intimidated, punch it, fight it. I'm not gonna eat pizza, no, I think I'm gonna make a little bit of a sandwich. Your Dream no hiding it anymore? No, why would Dream have a study channel? How much was your tutoring? It's expensive. But I'm not taking any students right now. Bro, my friend studied so hard, actually grinded. Now he's too epic for us. Well, yeah, that's what happens. It's like you look up and now your friend's in netherite armor. But yeah, that's fine. You can still grind in these week, Techno. I believe, bro. I'm spilling the beans. Yo, this guy's eating beans. Pranks in the hood equals negative 36 IQ. Yeah. Ace Family pranks. Yeah, it's gonna be me, bro. How much is your tutoring? Let's just say this. You guys have access to a very good tutor. Let's just say that. you know, and it's free. This is 100% free, and this is pretty much what I would be doing with a student, although obviously with a student I'm going to be, you know, much more precise on what we work on, but this is it, guys. So there's no like magic tutor who can do something. You're looking at it. That's what this is. But if you really are serious, I don't know. I'm not taking any new students, but I guess you could send me an email. Is that good in the Bronx side? No, you got, I mean, it might be. I can't say no. It might be, but you need to get one of these subjects into the 50s, bro. Just to be for sure. I mean, maybe that is good enough. I don't know, but. You should stream Wednesday after the test. Oh yeah, that might be kind of fun. Have you ever seen Two Pretty Best Friends? No, I haven't actually. Should I search that? I have not been watching YouTube. I'll pray for you, bro stars. Nice keyboard, thanks. Yeah, it's got the obviously got the LEDs popping. What do I study? My videos, bro. Show us your PC. I can give you specs for the PC. I built it myself, so it's nothing too crazy. Did you use Squarespace? I did. Or Weebly? I don't remember. Why is it $1,000 for an ELA test on your website? Well, you know, it's a very good ELA test. Okay, all right. I gotta read faster, dude. The chat keeps going. Can we get an elbow reveal? Absolutely not, you degenerate. Why doesn't your sister, like, that's not to me. When will the results come out? Probably in late March, but they'll probably delay it because they have an excuse to delay it, and they're just like that, bro. So Tyler, it doesn't tell me my score out of 19, but what is the total scaled score? The scaled score is what you get, bro. And I don't tell you your score out of 19 because I don't want people to know how close they are to perfect. Shiny, you're poor, but you're rich in the mind, bro. And I would take that over being rich. Logging off, see you, Wang. Can I get into B2? I think we talked about it. You need to get one of those up, but that probably is good enough to get into B Tech. But keep grinding, bro. Don't settle. 9th grade SHSAT, take a SAT. It'll be stupid hard, but you need to push yourself in that direction. Tyler is an adult? What? No, dude, I'm like 10 years old. Do you have any tips? Yeah, I already said that. Upper forearm reveal, now he's negotiating. What if this wasn't free? Everyone has to donate or the vid won't start. You know, when I first started making SHSAT videos, there were a lot of people who had paywalls who said, oh, you know, I have 30 math videos and you'll become an expert, but pay me $99 a month. And I could have done that. I like very easily could have sold out and become like a grifter and just made money off of your guys' desire. But that's not what the channel is about. The channel is to give high quality test prep for the SHSAT for free for anyone who wants to work hard. The fact that you guys are here means you want to work hard and you're the type of person that I want to be on the channel. So I don't care. Like how much, like honestly, how many of you have more than like $100 to your name? Probably not many of you because you don't need it. So I'm not going to put up a paywall of a barrier and be like, make you spend the little money you have. So that's why it's free, bro. So basically nobody has an excuse. Like how many of your friends honestly don't go on YouTube? Like out of all of your friends in your school, how many don't know what YouTube is and don't go on it? And if you're the type of person who should be at a specialized high school, you're going to be looking at math stuff and SHSAT stuff on YouTube. So I may not get recognized for it, but what I'm doing is a great public service. I can't wait till I get the keys to the city of New York. Pray for us, Tyler. I'm praying for you, Techno. I'll pray for you all. Seriously. No, stop bringing up Fletcher. He took the L and he got hit by a train, so he's done. Can someone explain to Swifties how the test works? Did you write all the passages for your website? No, I think I wrote one of them, but I nicked a couple of them. I haven't seen it. I'm sorry. I know, I'm not cool. I thought Tyler was like 18. Yeah, I'm actually 10 years old. No, that's a lie. I'm 60 years old. Ninja Belvin's Tutor, Tyler Hero. Yeah, Tyler, my whole family poops on tutoring while eating lunch and dinner. Yeah, well, I mean, they should. There's a place for it. Obviously, I am a tutor, but you know, only in you have $7. Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Tyler. You're amazing and honestly the best tutor ever. I'm gonna go off and watch some of your other vids for the extra prep. That's awesome. You're a fan. Keep grinding, bro. Keep grinding. Tyler's a good man. Thanks, dude. Thanks, Clips. Get 3 wrong for match. If I get, oh, I'm almost there. How much do I need for Sty? Probably in the 40s. You have 2 cents. Well, put it into Bitcoin, bro. You have negative $1 million. You should get a job, Neil. Okay, I got you, Swifties. No hate here, man. I knew you had good intentions. I'll pray for you, Willsat. Probably Gosk. For some reason, people who do well in ELA don't find my channel. Oh my gosh. I'm not going to solve that very simple algebra equation because there is no solution. Because if you have 2 variables, you need 2 equations to solve it. Otherwise, it's a graph, dude. Visit New York and we'll all come and do hood pranks with you. Great. Do hood pranks. The people asked for hood pranks. I'm gonna do hood pranks. I'm looking at the SHSAT while I've been prepping for the SAT and I'm like, yeah, well, I mean, obviously if you're prepping for SAT, yeah, the SHSAT is gonna seem easy. Which age do you need to be to start investing? I actually don't know if there's an age barrier. I think if you have like an app and money, you could do it. What's up, Zach? Keyboard reveal. Yeah, you're looking at it. Dude, it's such a trash keyboard. Like, I'm going to get a new one, but this is it. I just thought it was funny because it was called Re. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm just reing on this keyboard all the time. But yeah, it's a really bad keyboard. Don't buy it if that's what you're thinking about doing. I found a stick. Can I invest in stick now? Yes, you can. Tyler got light up keyboard. YouTube is, man, that YouTube AdSense is really doing it. If Tyler does hood pranks and one day he has 3 strokes while solving a simple SHSAT question, then it's your guys' fault. I don't even know what that means, but that's really funny. Okay. All right. Okay. We are caught up with the chat. Guys, you know what that means. It means I am getting out of here. So guys, thank you for stopping by the stream. Thank you for studying. You can always go on tylertutor.com. This is my email that you can find me at. So Shiny, send me that thumbnail to this address right there. That is my email. Guys, what a time to be alive. You know, you just gotta love it. You just gotta love it. I will see you guys tomorrow at 6 p.m. We are going to continue to grind. So, yeah, see you then.